Hello everybody and nobody all at the same time. This is going to be the first video on my channel and it's going to be kind of an experiment. I'm going to be doing several different types of things when it comes to video games, movies, you name it. And doing a retro tier list is kind of like the best thing to start this channel with. I kind of wanted to make this channel just because one of my friends is a YouTuber and he's fairly decent. And I just want to show him how much more hard work he can put in, and he would be able to make an even better YouTube channel. So first, we're going to start off with this tier list for Overwatch 2. I haven't played the beta yet, and it's coming out today actually, but it's going to be coming out more tomorrow for everybody. And I know there's so many new changes that I'm curious on how my opinion is going to change over time on these heroes. So, I'm going to go through this and kind of rank them and have an idea of where I want to set these heroes at. And once I've played the beta, kind of revisit this tier list and see if anything's been changed or different. So first, we'll start with Ashe. Now Ashe, she's a pretty solid marksman. One of the few heroes in the game that has the actual scope, and I think she's a solid B tier. I think going into the next phase of Overwatch 2, she's gonna be pretty strong, just because there's gonna be less tanks, so she'll be able to put out more damage. Bastion is easily an A tier. He does immense damage, and he's gonna be less counterable going into Overwatch 2, with the ability to move more frequently around in turret form. Jesse McCree is A tier also. Well, I guess he's not Jesse McCree anymore. He's some other cowboy name or some shit like that. But he's still a headshot banger. I know they changed his grenades, and so we'll have to see how that affects him. Echo, I'd say is a solid B. She has a little bit of everything, but I have a feeling she's going to be dropping off pretty hard going forward. Genji, I'm going to put as a C. The main reason being is that you either are really good with them or you're god awful. And 9 times out of 10, if you're on my team, you're god awful. And so I don't see him getting much of an increase, only if there happens to be some more buffs going in his direction. But the one less tank will make things a little bit easier. Hanzo, fuck that guy. Mei, I think May's gonna probably be a C. Just because she is so powerful and so weak all at the same time, but they're taking away one of her bread and butter with getting rid of the freezing ability of her just regular abilities and making it just her ult. So that might weaken her, but the spray that she has that's just a slow seems to be doing more damage. So we'll have to see if she gets a little bit higher or drops down because, with some of these more heroes with more damage output, I would assume that she's going to probably drop off. Reaper is an A tier hero. He is constantly on the output doing damage. Now without. Actually, I'm going to change that in the middle of this. I'm going to go B. He doesn't have as many tanks to regain health from now, so I think he's actually going to drop off quite a bit. Just because he doesn't have a Roadhog or a Diva to replenish all of his health, he might be easily targetable, especially with the new ping system also. Sojourn, I want to put as a D just because I don't know her, and we'll find out. But I've heard that she's pretty solid. Needs some accuracy though, just to play her. Diva, I think she's easily a B. She's an easy one of the best off tanks in the game, and she'll continue to be that way. The only problem is I don't see a future for her in Overwatch 2 with only one tank in the meta. Well, not even a meta, just one tank in general. Soldier. Soldier is an A. He's going to be constantly pulling out damage. His rockets are going to be crazy. His healing, he's going to be optimized everywhere. Sombra. I think Sombra is going to be S. Her hacking ability is going to be able to disrupt tanks of all types, especially tanks like Doomfist and Reinhardt. She's going to be able to take them almost virtually out of the game in a moment. and that allows enough time for all the DPSs and all everything else to just destroy. Symmetra. Now, Symmetra is easily my favorite character. She's the first character I ever got a gold gun with, but that was back in the beginning of Overwatch days. So I don't think it's gonna be much better. I think she's actually gonna have a hard time with them taking away the two CPs because that's pretty much where her prime is. She sets up her car wash and she's able to go. But now with constant movement, I foresee a 23 work in her future. Torbjorn, I think, is going to be a C. I think he's going to fall into the same aspect as Symmetra, just because his turret cannot move. And depending on the map he's on, that might be quite detrimental. It won't allow to put out as much damage as his team's going to need. Tracer, I think, is going to be also a C. Reason being is that, yeah, she's, the whole gimmick is that she runs around and does shit, but everybody's a lot more powerful, especially Sojourn. I mean, she could one shot her based off what I've seen. But everybody's gonna be a lot more powerful. There's not gonna be as much focus on two tanks. She's gonna be able to be focused more easily, just in general. And I think that she's not gonna survive all too well. Widowmaker, I think Widowmaker's probably gonna be about a B. Without an extra shield, especially if they play a tank hero that doesn't have a shield, she's gonna be running rampant. And she's a little bit easier to actually hurt people than fuckboy dragon over here. Farrah is gonna be, I think, pretty solid. She's gonna be very strong. It's gonna be hard to get. The only thing is with these DPSs, they're gonna be the only ones that be able to take care of her. But I feel in the same way, she's also gonna be able to take care of them. Junkrat, I feel like Junkrat's gonna be okay. He's gonna be a little bit of an off ADC or off DPS, but I think depending on the map, depending on the comp you want to run, he's gonna be very strong. Anna, I think Anna is gonna be so powerful when it comes to healing. Her anti-grenade is gonna be very broken, especially with the amount of less shielding, less healing in general. It's gonna be a lot of burst damage. That's what's gonna rule the beginning of this Overwatch 2. Is just lots of burst damage. Brigette or Bridget, however you guys want to pronounce her name, I think she's gonna be. She's probably gonna be about a C, just because she is she has a little bit of use, but her healing is so minimal. I think there's going to be a lot of adjustments to the healing over the course of these couple betas, but her healing is so low, and there's a lot of burst damage. Her shield does help, but her shield is going to get melted too by all these people in the S and A ranking. Doomfist, Doomfist is wild right now. He is going to be so powerful as a tank, but if you get your little Sombra over here, he's useless. Same thing with Lucio. I think Lucio is going to be one of the best counters to Doomfist because he could boop him in the middle of his punch, and it's just game over for that man. Lucio also needs a buff to his healing, I believe, but his movement speed and his ability to just constantly manipulate the map, and it's going to be even harder, especially with no off tank to take care of him. He's going to be probably a pretty powerful healer, and he'll be very annoying again, just like back when people started to learn how to play Lucio back in the day when the Overwatch first came out. Mercy's gonna be easily an A. Pharmacy's gonna run rampant again. She's gonna be able to just heal up everybody, and she has such a strong initial healing boost and just a constant healing stream that I feel like she's gonna be a detriment for anybody that doesn't have her on your team. Baptiste is gonna be very strong also. He has crazy burst healing. And not too much on the strength on the damage, but I think with his ult, all that damage is going to be amplified for everyone else, and they're going to be able to clean up teams very easily. Moyer is going to be a little bit different. She has such a low damage rate and a low healing rate. It's not quite as strong as it needs to be. A lot of people are going to be getting killed in 1 to 2 seconds, and she needs to be a little bit more powerful. Same thing with Bridget, just to make sure that they can become sustainable. Otherwise, people are just going to not want to pretty much play these champs. It's going to be throwing. Zenyatta is kind of be in that same ballpark. He has a little bit of consistent healing, and he does really good damage. That debuff orb is super powerful, but I feel like at the end of the day, most people aren't going to want to play him just because there's going to be so many people doing damage and burst damage. Orisa, I think Orisa is going to be pretty strong, especially with all the buffs to her rework I've been seeing. The main problem though is that she's not going to have a shield anymore, and so that I don't know how that's going to be able to last. I feel like she's going to be easily counterable too, once people understand how her new play style is going to be. Reinhardt, Reinhardt's going to be broken. He's going to be broken. Anybody that doesn't have a Reinhardt on their team is probably going to be losing that fight. That shield is so strong, and he is charged, and now he has two of the whatever that hell of that ability is to just help boost up his ult. Reinhardt's gonna be so strong, especially in those chokes. Oh my god, he's gonna be so powerful. Watch out for that. Roadhog. I think Roadhog's gonna fall off quite a bit because I think if you pick him as the only tank on your team, you're pretty much throwing. And unless you guys build a comp completely around it, but if you're doing solo queue, you're gonna be throwing. Sigma, he's pretty good. He's gonna be okay. I think he needs to have a stronger recharging shield, and he's gonna need to be able to deploy his shield right away again, not having that delay. Just with how fast everybody's gonna be moving around, especially with the movement speed, all the DPS is buff. He's gonna be able to move around his shielding a lot more. Winston, I think Winston's gonna be really strong. He doesn't have the power still, but he has that disruptability and the shielding. And if he's paired with Mercy or Anna, it's gonna be great. I see a little bit more of a dive comp meta coming up again. It's gonna be pretty strong. Rumble, who's that? Zarya. I think Zarya is gonna be really strong too. She's just gonna be able to heal up and just do immense damage. You know, it's it's crazy. I don't know. There's This is kind of my thoughts so far. Looking at this real quick, I'm trying to decide if I want to change anybody. Mm, no, I think everyone's pretty solid. I mean, Rumble's okay. I just think he's gonna fall into the same ballpark as Roadhog. You're just throwing if you pick him. Cause like he'd be great if you had a second tank with Winston, but he's just gonna be like someone that you pick if you're about to lose point and you're trying to get there fast, just like May. All these other champions that are just meant to like stall out. He's gonna be a stall champ. He's probably gonna get adjusted also. Any tank without shielding is just I don't see them lasting long. I mean, even Diva, I'm probably gonna put her to back. I just don't see her doing well unless everybody is committed to the dive, and in solo queue, that's not happening. Well, let me know what you guys think. Who I should adjust. You know, comment down below. Tell me if I'm right about anybody, if I'm wrong about anybody, and we'll kind of go from there. And I'll make this tier list again after I played the beta, just to kind of see my adjustments and my thoughts on how this is going. I know this video is pretty scuffed, and they're going to be pretty scuffed for a while, but I'm just kind of testing stuff, seeing how everything's going, and we'll go from there. So have a great one, guys.